Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are all doing great and preparing well for your upcoming exam UGC NET. Not only for paper 2 everybody, but paper 1 also. In paper 1 also you have to score well to reach your target, to achieve your dream. So I hope you are all doing that apart from paper 2. So welcome to all the literature students of English who are becoming a major part of this journey and supporting and giving their love. Thank you so much, everybody. So, in this video, I have brought the concept of prominent groups in English literature. You will see two or three questions, that is more than 6 plus score you will get by solving the questions about prominent groups. So in this video we will discuss that, but before starting the class, it's a request to everybody who have become the part to share the channel to more and more students, and who are watching for the first time to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the latest informations and updates. And also, for any other informations about class or any other updates notifications, do join the Telegram for also to get the PDF and notes. Okay, so let's start. You know now, you have to subscribe. Before starting, I would like to tell you that I got to know that there are some students who are watching the every video, each video very carefully, and I'm also overwhelming with the response I'm getting, because they are also correcting if I have done anything wrong, or if I have misspelled, or if I have incorrect the answer. So I'm very overwhelmed about I would like to mention a name. No, I that won't be a good idea to mentioning a name without concern. So there is a student who are doing this. I am very helpful and thankful to you. If you are watching, keep supporting. We are all humans. While preparing so many questions all together, going through major topics, concept, little bit of a small mistakes, everyone does. So I hope you do understand. I'll try to not to do as such. So let's start the class. First and major group you have university wit. University wits. The term university wits was coined by George Saintsbury to refer to a cluster of educated playwrights who have educated no, who have educated from universities. The university was Cambridge or Oxford. Majorly, who have played significant role in boosting in the play, or you can say that they have played a significant role in boosting the major work of that time. That means majorly the Elizabethan era. The university with people, the members were mainly from the Elizabethan era. So you can say initially the group was not given any name, but later this term was coined university wits by George Saintsbury. You know now, while criticizing, while going through the work, after a while there are some critics, writers, theorists who give particular name to a such group by compiling their thought of perception. So this is how, that is how John Saintsbury done, giving the name university wits to a cluster of educated playwrights. The university wits is basically a phrase used to name a group of late 16th century English playwrights and pamphleteers who were educated at the universities, whether it's Oxford or Cambridge, and also who became popular secular writers at that point of time. So now we also know them as a university wits. Okay, time period of those university people members were 1580s to 1590s, that falls in Elizabethan era. What was the purpose? The purpose was to elevate English drama, bringing classical influence and blank verse to the popular stage. I won't discuss the significance. If you want the PDF, I will share this to the Telegram channel. I will discuss about the notable members. So, who are the notable members of University Wits? We have Christopher Marlowe from Cambridge, Robert Greene from Cambridge, Thomas Nash from Cambridge. What type of question you will see in an exam, in your exam? That significance member from any group, they will ask you from which university they have studied or they belong. So you have to memorize everything, each point. Thomas Lodge from Oxford, George Peel from Oxford, and John Lyly, Oxford. So these six members are from three of Cambridge and three from Oxford. One other member was there, that is Thomas Kidd. He did not attended any university but included in the group. So you have to remember he was not attended Oxford or Cambridge University, but in spite of that he was included in the member of University Wits. So NTA will ask you that who was the member of University Wits who did not attend Oxford or Cambridge or university. In spite of that he was included, so you have to take Thomas Kidd. So these are the members. Okay, next you have metaphysical poets. Their time period was 1600 to 1670. The term metaphysical poets was coined by the English critic and poet Samuel Taylor Johnson. Samuel Johnson, Dr. Samuel Johnson. He used this term to describe a group of 17th century British lyric poets whose work was characterized by complex intellectual and emotional concerns, witty comparisons, and unique style. The purpose of these groups were to fuse emotion and intellect in poetry using complex metaphors. They explored themes of religion, love, existence using intellect, wit, and paradox. They reacted against the smooth elegance of earlier Elizabethan poetry, favoring a more argumentative and philosophical style. Now you know now that what was the purpose and significance of the metaphysical poets. And the term was coined by Dr. Samuel Johnson. The notable members of metaphysical poets were majorly, and the first in order you have to put John Donne, George Herbert, Andrew Marvell, Henry Vaughan, and Richard Crashaw. These were the notable members of metaphysical poets. Do remember the term metaphysical poets was coined by Dr. Samuel Johnson, and the notable members in order they will ask you also. The question appears in order that who falls first in metaphysical poets. So John Donne, George Herbert, Andrew Marvell, Henry Vaughan, and Richard Crashaw. Right? Move on to the next. Next you have Cavalier poets. Now, there it is mentioned that reign of Charles I. Majorly Cavalier is known as the loyal to the any king. So the term Cavalier poets wasn't coined by a single individual but rather evolved over time. It initially referred to the poets who supported King Charles I during the English Civil War, but the term became more descriptive of their political affiliations and aristocratic backgrounds. Okay, so these were the Cavalier poets. And the loyal to the king. Cavaliers means loyal to the king. Majorly wrote about love, beauty, and loyalty in a graceful lyrical style. Okay. Notable members we have from the Cavalier group: Richard Lovelace, Robert Herrick, Thomas Carew, and Sir John Suckling. These were the notable members of a Cavalier group. So you have to memorize them accordingly. If any In spite of any of these names, if you find any other, you can simply eliminate them, right? So you have to remember. Next, you have a Scribblers Club, June and December. Each session, each cycle, you will find the question about prominent groups of English literature. I will show you the question. So, the Scribblers Club was an informal group of satirical writers in early 18th century London, active from 1714 to 1745. That means after 75 they have discarded. Jonathan Swift and Pope were the most influential together. They created the fictional Martinus Scribblers to express their satire, though much of their work remained unpublished until the 1740s. So you have to focus majorly Scribblers Club. Why and who were the notable members? What was the purpose of their writing? Making the or forming the Scribblers group? Satirized bad literature, pedantry, and politics, formed to satirize the misuse of learning and the corruption of literary standards. Okay, so the notable members we have from the Scribblers Club was Jonathan Swift, Alexander Pope, John Arbuthnot, Thomas Parnell, Henry St. John, and Robert Harley. These were the notable members of Scribblers Club group. Next, you have graveyard poets. Do not miss this video, everybody, if you want to score very, very well and to get ahead from the rest. Graveyard poets, you have the time period 1740 to 1780. The members, it was a group of 18th century poets known for their meditative and often melancholy verse, frequently set in or evoking the imagery of graveyards. The term graveyard poet was coined by the literary critic William McNeill Dixon in 1898. It's Dixon. The term was graveyard school refers to 4 poems that Thomas Gray's elegy written in a country churchyard, Thomas Parnell's Night Piece on Death, Robert Blair's The Grave, and Edward Young's Night Thoughts. Majorly the graveyard poets majorly coined by seeing these 4 works by these writers, that is Thomas Gray, Thomas Parnell, Robert Blair. Majorly it was a description of their work, so we know them as graveyard poets. What was the purpose? The purpose of them there to reflect on death and spirituality leading into romanticism. They expressed melancholy and meditated on death, the afterlife, and human morality. They served as a bridge between neoclassicism and romanticism. So they were the graveyard poets. Who were the notable members? The notable members you have Thomas Gray, Edward Young, Robert Blair, and William Cooper. You have to remember the name from each groups. Next you have Lake Poets. Lake Poets time period 1790 to 1830. The term Lake Poets was initially coined by literary critic Francis Jaffrey in the early 19th century, specifically in the Edinburgh Review in 1817. One of the PYQs is that in which article the Lake Poets term was officially specifically mentioned. So you have to remember this. The Edinburgh Review in 1817, he used it to describe William Wordsworth. One second. He used to describe William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Robert Southey, who were all associated with the Lake District in England. That is why they have known as Lake Poets. They belong to the Romantic age. You know that in what type of work we have read or study in romantic era, they celebrate nature, introspection and emotion. Next, the notable members you have in Lake poets were Wordsworth, Coleridge and Southey. Next you have Cockney School. Cockney School. The Cockney School refers to a group of poets and essayists writing in England in the second and the third decades of the 19th century. It was a label used mockingly in Blackwood's magazine. You have to remember in which magazine this type of thing has mentioned and in which year. You will find such question in matching, majorly in matching. The main target was Leigh Hunt, though John Keats and William Hazlitt were also included. Ironically, only Keats was actually a Cockney. What was the purpose by forming Cockney School? To challenge elitism in literature, represent urban working class voices, to challenge elitist literary standards and champion urban life and middle class perspectives, and to fought against class prejudice in literature, and also though criticized for their humble origins, they contributed richly to romantic poetry. The notable members you have John Keats, Leigh Hunt, and William Hazlitt. These were the notable members of Cockney School. Next, you have, it's very important, Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood or Pre-Raphaelite group. You can simply mention as a brotherhood or group. The time period was 1848 to 1882. Bloomsbury group, Lake Poets, Cockney School, all of these groups are very important from your exam perspective. So do not miss this video, okay? And also do subscribe and share to more and more students. So Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, it is also PYQs. One of the PYQs, one or two questions you will definitely get. So the Pre-Raphaelite movement was a mid-19th century British artistic and literary group that aimed to revive the style of art before the High Renaissance. They believed Raphael's classical influence had led to a decline in artistic integrity. Rejecting the academic norms of their time, the Pre-Raphaelites, comprising painters, poets, and critics, focused on detailed, sincere depictions of nature and embraced moral seriousness in their work. Now you know what and why Pre-Raphaelite group formed. What was the purpose? Their significance was that to reject classical poses and refined conventions, emphasized realism, nature, and medievalism. Also to revive medieval art and literature values before Raphael's influence, and also they rejected the mechanistic and academic style that followed Raphael and the Renaissance. They also wanted to revive medievalism, naturalism, and spiritual purity in art and literature. So these were their main focus. They wanted to purify. They wanted to get to bring purity in art and literature. The members you have in Pre-Raphaelite group: Dante Gabriel Rossetti, William Homan Hunt, John Everett Millais, Christina Rossetti, William Morris. These were the members. Next you have a Bloomsbury group. This is the one of the PYQs in December 2024. Oh, it's become design. See, December 2024 and 25, the exam was held in January, if you remember. And also June PYQs. Question from Bloomsbury group. So Bloomsbury group, the time period was 1904 to 1939. The Bloomsbury group was an influential circle of writers, artists, and thinkers in early 20th century Britain centered in London's Bloomsbury district, like the lake poets. The people who used to live around the lake district were known as lake poets by someone, and these were the based in London's Bloomsbury districts, known for their intellectual ideals and bohemian lifestyles. They made significant contributions to literature, art, philosophy, and economics. Their purpose was that to advance modernist thought, feminism, art, and literature, focused on modernist literature, aesthetics, feminism, and progressive thought, believed in the importance of personal relationships and artistic freedom, and also their discussions and works redefined English intellectual and cultural life. Who are the notable members? The important members you have Virginia Woolf, E.M. Forster, Lytton Strachey, John Maynard Keynes, Leonard Woolf, and Vanessa Bell. The question of PYQs was that who among them, that means the given the name which was given in the options, who among them were not part of the Bloomsbury group. So the wrong option was that Yeats, that is W.B. Yeats. You have to eliminate it, W.B. Yeats. Next you have, this wasn't that important but still I brought because this was also included in your group, prominent. The Inklings were a literary club formed at Oxford University in the 1930s and 40s with members including C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, Charles Williams, and Owen Barfield. They met regularly both at the Eagle and Child pub and in Lewis Magdalen college rooms to discuss about literature, philosophy, and their writing projects. So that is why they got this name, because they frequently used to meet to discuss about these. What was the purpose of these groups? To develop and critique Christian myth based fantasy and fiction. Their aim to preserve myth, fantasy, and Christian values in modern literature offered a collaborative space to critique and develop imaginative works, that is, The Lord of the Rings, and to reinforce the idea that storytelling and mythology remain central to human understanding. So they used to discuss about all this. Next you have, the notable members you have C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, Charles Williams, and Owen Barfield. These were the notable members of Inkings group. Next you have very important Auden group. This one of the PYQs also from this group also. Auden group, this group refers to a cluster of British poets and writers who emerged in the 1930s. They were politically conscious, often Marxist or anti-fascist, influenced by modernism, and responded to the crisis of the time, including the Spanish Civil War and the rise of fascism. A cluster of British poets and writers who emerged in 1930s. The notable members you have W.H. Auden, the central figure of Auden group. That is why the name of this group, you can understand that why it has been kept as a Auden group. The central figure was W.H. Auden, Stephen Spender, Cecil Day Lewis, Louis MacNeice. These were the members of Auden group. Now, after you have understanding of all these prominent groups, their significance and time period, let's practice few questions from this topic. So question you have, which of the following was not a member of the Scribblers Club? Option you have on your screen: Jonathan Swift, Alexander Pope, Joseph Addison, John Gay. Quickly just give me the answer. Who could be? Do subscribe if you have just joined the channel, everyone. And if you are watching for the first time, So the correct answer of this question is Joseph Addison. Not a member of Scribblers Club was Joseph Addison. Next question you have, which group of writers is credited with laying the foundation of Elizabethan drama before Shakespeare? Which group of writers is credited with laying the foundation of Elizabethan drama before Shakespeare? Option A, you have metaphysical poets. Option B, cavalier poets. Option C, university wits. And option D, the pre-Raphaelites. The answer is easy. This group was also, it has been said that they paved a way for Shakespeare, for all the works that Shakespeare has wrote, paved the way by all these writers, all these group members. Correct answer of the question is university wits. They were the people who belonged to the Elizabethan age. Shakespeare started writing work one after the another, the great plays. So here the university wits were a group of educated playwrights like Marlowe, Greene, Nash, who revolutionized drama before Shakespeare. Next question you have, identify the writer who was not part of the university wit. This type of question you will face in your exam, so do not miss this video. I am telling you repeatedly. Option A, you have Thomas Kidd. Option B, Robert Greene. Option C, Christopher Marlowe. And option D, you have William Congreve. What could be the correct answer? The writer who was not part of the university wits. It's easy now. Then tell me the answer quickly. Thomas Kidd, he was there. Greene was there, Marlowe was there, the most prominent Marlowe. Thomas Kidd, who one such a member who was not attended university. So the what would be the correct answer? Not part of. William Congreve. Next question everyone. The Bloomsbury Group was known for its association with which field? A, you have religious reform. Option B, industrial revolution. Option C, aesthetic movement. And option D, intellectual and artistic modernism. Bloomsbury Group was known for its association with which field? Which field? Bloomsbury Group. You have to find the correct field with which the Bloomsbury people and members were associated. Correct answer of the question is intellectual and artistic modernism. The member were included Virginia Woolf, E.M. Forster were modernist thinkers in literature, art and politics. Next question you have, do not miss the video. Who among the following was not associated with the Bloomsbury Group? This question I was talking about, I have taken from PYQs. Exactly the same. One option is not there, that was after the answer I will tell you. Tell me who among the following was not associated with the Bloomsbury Group? Option A, you have Virginia Woolf, B, Lytton Strachey, C, T.S. Eliot and D, E.M. Forster. Correct answer everybody. Correct answer. Woolf was there, Strachey was there, Forster was there. So you can eliminate Eliot. So instead of Eliot there was W.B. Yeats. Next question everybody. The movement in British literature was a group of writers reacting against which of the following? Option A, you have Victorian morality. Option B, modernist experimentation. C, postmodernism and D, realism in novels. The movement in British literature was a group of writers reacting against which of the following? What were the reactions against the members of the movement? Sorry. What would be the correct answer? Correct answer of the question is option B, modernist experimentation. That means each the people who belong to the one particular era was reacted against the previous, or the previous era, what the writer has done, what type of work they have written. So this type of thing, it continue till now. Next question you have, who among the following was a leading member of the movement? Option A you have W.H. Auden, option B Dylan Thomas, option C Kingsley Amis, and option D Samuel Beckett. The movement. What could be the correct answer? Leading member of the group, the movement. Correct answer, everybody. After discussing the concept, I put answers to make you understand. Correct answer of the question is Kingsley Amis. I think there is no description of the movement group, right? I will check. Here is the short explanation. Amis was a prominent novelist of the moment along with Larkin, Philip Larkin, and Donald Davy. I think I have forgotten to add this group. Don't worry, I will add this in PDF and share it on Telegram. Okay. Next question you have, who among the following coined the name University Wits? This is also a PYQ. You have to remember the review, the name of the magazine also. Option A you have George Sainsbury, option B F.T. Palgrave, option C Andrew Cecil Bradley, option D George Watson. Who among the following coined the name University Wits? Do remember and quickly answer. Correct answer, everybody. You remember now? Option A is the correct, that is George Sainsbury. Do remember the year also and the name of the magazine. He was the person who popularized the term to describe the group of educated Elizabethan dramatists. Next question you have, the Inkings were an informal literary discussion group associated with which institution? Option A you have University of Cambridge, option B British Museum, option C University of Oxford, and option D Royal Society of Literature. Discussion group. This group is also known as discussion group because they frequently met at the club to discuss about a specific topic. Correct answer, the informal literary discussion group associated with which institution? So correct answer would be University of Oxford. Next question, everybody. I hope you are understanding. Which of the following groups was most closely associated with satire and mock heroic poetry in the 18th century? Which group? Option A you have Scribblers Club, option B Graveyard Poets, option C the Pre-Raphaelites, and option D the Dissenters. I have added the major groups that NTA asked. What could be the correct answer? The following groups was most closely associated with satire and mock heroic poetry in the 18th century is Scribblers Club. Next question, everybody. Accession and reason. It's important question actually. The Scribblers Club, accession is saying the Scribblers Club aimed to protect and advance modern scientific thinking through satire, and reason is saying Martinus Scribblers was a character created to mock literary affectation and false learning. See the options. Here it is. What could be the correct one? Let me tell you, we are discussing about the prominent group. If you have just joined or if you are watching for the first time, do subscribe the channel and join the TG, that is Telegram channel for the PDF and notes, and also press the bell icon to get the latest informations and updates. Correct answer, everybody. Option D, that is A is false but R is true. The Scribblers Club did not aim to advance scientific thinking but to mock pedantry and pseudoscience. Martinus Scribblers was their fictional character used in satire. Remember this, they can ask you anything. Now, one such questions from matching you will find group. Here is the group and the characteristics of the group. University wits, the moment, Bloomsbury, and the beat generation. Beat generation is also important. I forgot to add. Don't worry, I will re-add the left group and share the notes. Okay. What could be the correct answer? Let me show you the options. Sorry. Here are the options on your screen, everyone. You have to match a group with the characteristics, with their characteristics. Correct answer of the question is option A, that is option A. You have to match A with a third. Experimental prose and revival of drama and blank verse. So university wit will go with third one. B, the moment, anti-modernist clarity and restraints. Next you have Bloomsbury group, spontaneous prose and counterculture, and the beat generation you have experimental prose and pacifism. Next question. Which of the following members of Scribblers Club collaborated on the satirical narrative Memoirs of Martinus Scribblers? Remember, Martinus was their fictional name they created. Option A, you have John Dryden and Joseph Addison. Option B, Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift. Option C, Samuel Johnson and Oliver Goldsmith. And option D, Thomas Gray and William Collins. The following members, which of them, the following members of the Scribblers Club collaborated on the satirical narrative Memoirs of Martinus Scribblers? Each question is very important. If there is any error you are finding, you can simply let me know. I won't mind at all. In fact, I will be thankful to you that you are highlighting. It shows that how much concerned you are and how carefully you are watching. So the teacher becomes happy if the student do so. Correct answer, everybody. Correct answer, Alexander Pope and Jonathan Swift collaborated. Do remember? Next question you have. This is the, which of the following is true regarding the graveyard poets? In each of my video now I included the, no, I bring all the questions by following the pattern of NTA. Not just giving you one liner, but I follow the pattern of NTA, that which type of pattern they bring questions, so that you can get familiar about every questions, each type of questions. They will ask you assertion and reason, statement, true, false, matching, chronology, one liner, everything. So I want to basically let you prepare for your benefit, for your. Okay, next question you have, everyone. Who among the following was not a member of the movement? Option A, you have Kingsley Amis. Option B, Philip Larkin. Option C, Tom Gunn. Option D, W.H. Auden. It's very simple. Amis, Larkin, Gunn was there. Auden was not there. Correct answer was D. Auden belonged to the earlier Auden group 1930s, and the movement was a 1950s British group. Next, you have to identify the, oh, you have seen the answer. No worry. Identify the incorrect pair. This is also the pattern of NTA. Option A, you have Charles Lamb, Scribblers Club. Option B, you have Christopher Marlowe, University Wits. Option C, Virginia Woolf, Bloomsbury Group. Option D, Philip Larkin, the Movement. Actually, I have brought all the major prominent groups from which the NTA asks questions. The moment they are helpful for the PGT, but still you can practice. Getting one single knowledge won't harm you but will help you. What could be the incorrect pair, everyone? Christopher Marlowe, University Wits, correct. Virginia Woolf, Bloomsbury, correct. Philip Larkin, The Moment, correct. Charles Lamb, Scribblers Club, incorrect. So, correct answer of the question is option A, that is Charles Lamb does not belong to the Scribblers Club. Next question you have. Which of the following pairs is incorrectly matched? Again, Robert Greene, University Wits. Option B, J.R.R. Tolkien, The Inkings. Option C, T.S. Eliot, Bloomsbury Group. And option D, Donald Davy, The Moment. Correct answer, everyone? Incorrect pair you have to find. What could be the correct answer? Subscribe also, please. What could be the correct answer? Correct answer of the question is, the answer is very easy to guess. The incorrect match, option C, T.S. Eliot, Bloomsbury Group. This is wrong. You have to eliminate. Next question. The following statements are made about the Scribblers Club. Identify the incorrect one. Option A, it aimed to ridicule bad writing and false learning. Option B, its satire often targeted pedantry and medical quackery. Remember, you have to find the incorrect one. Option C, John Arbuthnot was a key founding member. And option D is saying it was active throughout the Romantic period. Incorrect one. Let me see if there are options. Oh, there are. You have seen again. What could be the correct answer? Correct answer of the question is Scribblers Club. They were not active throughout the Romantic period now. So this option you can eliminate. Next question you have, who of the following was a common link between the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood and the Oxford movement in literature? Very important. Who among the following was a common link between the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood and the Oxford movement in literature? Options you have Thomas Carlyle, option B, John Henry Newman, option C, Dante Gabriel Rossetti, and option D, Gerard Manley Hopkins, that is G.M. Hopkins. What could be the correct answer, everybody? I will bring questions from sample paper also. I hope you do understand. I am also preparing for my exam, so it's what could be the correct answer? Not this, but some other exam actually. Correct answer, G.M. Hopkins. Hopkins was influenced by both the religious zeal of the Oxford movement and the artistic vision of the Pre-Raphaelites. So they collaborated. The question, what was the question? Link between, no? So link between the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood and the Oxford movement in literature is G.M. Hopkins. Okay, do remember. Next question, everybody. Last, the movement was a reaction against. The movement group was a reaction against option A, Victorian realism, option B, Georgian simplicity, option C, high modernist abstraction, and option D, you have romantic naturalism. Correct answer? What was the reaction? In which action the movement reacted? Correct answer, high modernist abstraction. High modernist abstraction. Let's do one question from Orden group. We have not done. Which of the following was the central figure around whom the Orden group coalesced? Option A, Louis Macnish. Option B, Stephen Spender. Option C, W.H. Auden. And option D, Cecil Day Lewis. Following was the central figure around whom the Auden group coalesced. Central figure. I told you. Option C is the correct answer. W.H. Auden. Okay. So this is all for today. I hope you have understand that which type of pattern question you will find in your exam. So this was my aim to make you understand. If and I'm the new students who are confused, basically they will understand that such type of pattern of questions NTA follow. So you have to practice accordingly. So this is all for today, everybody. If you have any queries, do feel free to let me know, and do join the Telegram for PDF and notes. And if you have any confusion or doubt regarding this, or if you find anything or any error, I am I will be grateful to you if you will let me know so that I can correct. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing. I can write well with my finger. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you being a part of this journey, who are joining, who have joined just. So what do you have to do at the end? Subscribe the channel and share more to more students, and also keep practicing, do practice, give a mock test. I explained you, I suggested you that at the end of the moment you have to give as much. Again it happens at the last. So you have to give mock test by setting a timer, because in 1 hour you have to solve 100 questions, and the question will be CBT that will appear on your screen. So it sometimes get difficult to scroll down and up, because not all the systems work properly. So many of you can face problems, so you have to practice accordingly. Okay, so this is all for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, do prepare well, and do revise. Do not jump to any new topic. This is the time for practice only, revision only. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye and take care.